Whoa, what is up, and welcome back. Another episode of Blood and Beer, the show where we talk blood sport and we drink beer. Sipping on some dew tonight. Got a little bit of the bubble gut, but we got a lot more to talk about than I was expecting. UFC Vegas 107 gave us a lot to talk about. Not a hell of a card. Not a lot of compelling things happened. We had 3 finishes on, 9-10 fights. And, yeah, just not a great card, but we saw the main event get canceled just minutes before it walked out. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into our bets. We're going to talk UFC 316 today, UFC Noche. That got moved, no longer a pay-per-view. Get into all that. BJ Penn news. Everything to look forward to. Everything that's going on around the MMA landscape. As I said, we're sipping on some dew today. And, yeah, we're here. We're live. We're talking fights. Our bets last week. Recapping that, Cody lost all 1,000. He's still kicking our butts. He's up 42.72, so 42.72 units year to date. I went up $81, so 0.81 units. Not a great night, but positive's positive. We're up 14.79 units year to date, so doing all right there. Now, Noah, he hasn't placed bets in a while. He's down 13.37. We're going to get him back in at UFC 316. We have our main card breakdown as we always do this Wednesday. Do something special for the pay-per-views. We'll go live. But this is our 150th episode. I just want to talk to you, talk at you. What a weird night for fights. What a weird card it was that we had at the UFC Apex. Glad we got the fights that did happen to happen, I guess. Not a lot of... So many people just ended up in the void after this. Just a weird card. You know, we had Erin Blanchfield was supposed to be taking on Maycee Barber in the main event. Minutes before the fight goes on, the broadcast kind of slows down. They say, hold on, we don't know if she's coming out yet or not. And then turns out fight gets canceled. Fight's canceled. So happens. What do you do? What do you know? But the weirdest thing is, Erin Blanchfield called this the week of the fight. She said, I don't think she's going to get to the fight. She got all the way through weigh-ins. She missed weight by half a pound, Maycee Barber did. And then they said that she had a seizure before the fight, so that's what caused it to get pulled. I'm sure that seizure was contributed to weight cut issues. But where do they go from here? Because Erin Blanchfield was probably going to have a hell of a performance against a beaten down Maycee Barber, beaten down from the weight cut, plus she had the skill advantage, in my opinion. She was a rightful favorite, Blanchfield was. Just a weird situation. And then Blanchfield just trashes her to Megan O'Leary, and in the post-fight presser says her life's a mess, whatever. Maycee Barber, she has released a statement. She's doing all right, but where do you go from here? I guess you let Blanchfield fight Natty Ice, Natalia Silva, or Jasmine Jasudavicius. I don't know. Weird situation you got there for Blanchfield. Maycee Barber, move up in weight. I don't know. You can't make the weight. You got to move up. You got to figure something out. But also, is fighting best for you if you're having seizures, cutting the weight? Is this where you need to be in the UFC? I don't know. It's just shitty situation. MMA gods, they looked down on us in spite this Saturday. We had 2 fights get canceled. One beforehand, Trevin Giles versus Andreas Gustafsson. Andreas Gustafsson. Now Gustafsson's going to be fighting Chaos Williams next week. But then we had the main event get canceled minutes before. We've seen co-mains. We've seen fights get canceled. We've seen things get moved around. I can't remember the last time we saw a main event get canceled just minutes before the fight. I've seen it happen in the middle of a card, but never seen it happen during, never seen it happen live. Or never seen it happen that close, I should say. So, what do? We got to move on to what ended up being the main event, which was Mateusz Gamrot. He took on Ludovic Klein, and Gamrot did Gamrot things. He threw a lot of volume at him. He shot a bunch of takedowns, went 6 for 11 on takedowns, outstruck Klein, outlanded him, just spam takedowns nonstop, held him against the cage, got him down, held him down, did the damn thing. I don't think he had one submission attempt, or if he did, he only had one. Did the thing, but this fight did not elevate Gamrot at all. And if you're in the chat, let me know if you think different, but I don't think this fight elevated his stock whatsoever. Yeah, no submission attempts, not a real entertaining fight. And, when you turn in that kind of a performance, UFC does not look favorably upon you. They're already not giving you ranked fighters as the number 7 guy who's been doing the damn thing for a minute now. And now you gotta go and fight probably another guy outside of the top 10, because you look at the guys ahead of Gamrot in the rankings. You look at Charles Oliveira. He's not getting him. He's not getting Arman, even though he's calling for that fight. Arman's not taking that. He's not going to get Justin Gaethje. He's not going to get Paddy Pimblett. Maybe a Michael Chandler, but they save him for entertaining fights, and they don't look at Mateusz Gamrot as an entertaining fighter. So just put himself in the void, just like Maycee Barber is. Where do you go from here with this guy? They're both ranked highly. You can't give him a reward for a performance like that while he is a dog and he goes out there and does the damn thing. UFC is saying, hey, we need to see something from you. You need to give us something, a highlight reel, or just give us a fun performance, something that we can have a highlight for. Stop just spamming takedowns. We can't put you in a title fight or anywhere near it with what you've been doing. Gamrot's on a tear right now. I think he's won 4 of his last 5, and he's probably going to fight outside of the top 10. He's going to have to fight down again. He might get a Renato Moicano. I don't know if they'll do that fight, but yeah, just a rough spot to be in if you're Mateusz Gamrot. Ludovic Klein, losing this fight did nothing to set his stock back. He was unranked going in to face the number 7 guy in the world. He was an underdog. While slight, he was expected to lose this fight, and sure enough, goes out there, loses the damn thing, but he gets it. He got his spotlight, I guess. They ended up being the main event. I don't know. Nobody was watching the fight. Everybody was watching after the fight, after the cancellation. You had so much more activity happen after the card ended, not because of anything that happened on the card, but because of what didn't happen on the card. And that's pretty crazy to see. Pretty crazy to see the internet traffic for the UFC go up the way it did last night after that cancellation for a fight that people really were not too excited for. But we'll move on. We're going to get through this card. Then we'll talk about UFC Noche, UFC 316. We'll talk about the BJ Penn news, having some issues. And then, yeah, we'll just shoot the shit. If you got other stuff you want to talk about, drop it in the chat for us. We're here. We're talking. We're chatting. We're live. So, moving on, though. Got through that Mateusz Gamrot just slop fest that we had. Then we had Ramiz Brahimaj. He took on Billy Ray Goff. Chokes him out in under 2 minutes. Not a lot of strikes thrown. It was a lot of grappling. And Billy Ray Goff shot a takedown. Ended up in a guillotine. Got out of the guillotine and shoots another takedown. Ends up getting tapped out. Brahimaj does the damn thing as a big underdog. Plus 300 when the fight closed. Billy Ray Goff, I don't think he's a guy that should ever be a minus 400 favorite, again, especially against a guy like Brahimaj, who's not the best, but he's pretty well-rounded. He's got good wrestling. He's got knockout power. And now you see he's got submissions, especially if you just give him your neck on a silver platter. So that's what Billy Ray Goff did. And Ramiz Brahimaj, he just took advantage. Just realized I wasn't recording. Fuck it. Guess we can't record it now. Oh, well. Oh, well. But another fun and fast finish. Dustin Jacoby, he went out there against Bruno Lopez, puts him away in under 2 minutes also. Just overwhelms him with strikes. It's pretty back and forth at the beginning, and then Jacoby backs him up against the cage, just starts cracking him with a barrage of ones and twos, just straight rights and lefts, and puts out Bruno Lopez. 37 years old man still doing the damn thing. Only knockout on the card, did not get a bonus. I don't know what we're doing here. We gave a fight of the night, which we shouldn't have. Is what it is. I guess we move on. We move on and we roll. So, but yeah, Dustin Jacoby still doing the damn thing. One of the only entertaining fighters left at light heavyweight. He's not a donkey guy that's going to hold you up and just go chest to chest and try to walk you to the cage. He's not going to do just weird, clunky shit. Dustin Jacoby's going to go out there and kickbox you, and he's going to make it a fun fight, going to make it a sloppy, sluggy war. That's what he did. That's what he gets the W. Then we had Ketlin Vieira had a slop fest with Maycee Chiasson, gets the victory, unanimous decision. First featherweight fight in the past 2 years, or in the past 2 calendar years. So do we crown Ketlin Vieira as the uncrowned women's featherweight champion right now, or the interim featherweight champion until Amanda Nunes comes back. No, I'm just kidding. But, yeah, she did the thing. Not an entertaining fight. Missed weight by 10 pounds. Nobody really talked about it. So, move on. We're not going to give her time of day as far as that goes, because it wasn't a fight worth watching. Wasn't a real entertaining fight. Speaking of not entertaining fights, Zachary Reese gets a unanimous decision win over Dusko Todorovic in a fight that nobody thought was going to be going the distance. Ends up going the distance, and yeah, Zachary Reese gets the nod. It could have gone either way. Todorovic had a lot more control time. Reese was landing the bigger shots. What is up, Cody? Welcome to the chat, my friend. How are you doing? What'd you think of the card this weekend? We're on the Zachary Reese Dusko Todorovic fight, which everybody thought was going to be going under the 1.5. It ended up going to the judges' scorecard. Zachary Reese gets a pretty close unanimous decision. I thought it should have gone to Todorovic because of the control time. What'd you think of that fight, dude? But yeah, I mean, Reese landed the bigger shots, so could have gone either way, but that fight sucked. And then another fight that sucked before we get back into the fun ones, because there was only 3 finishes on this, 9-10 fight card. 3 finishes here. Rough night. That card sucked. Yes, it did. But it gave us a lot to talk about with the Maycee Barber injury. We can circle back to that if you got any thoughts on that. But I'm on the Alan Nascimento versus Jafel Filo. Nascimento gets the win. Jafel Filo goes out there early, round 1. He's dominating the grappling exchanges. Looks like he's got a submission in. And then round 2 and round 3, Jafel Filo gets it back into the grappling position or situation, but gives up position, just making silly mistakes, and he ends up losing the decision just because he gets rode out for 2 rounds. Yeah, but did the thing, I guess. Jordan Leavitt, back to the fun fights that we're talking about as we dwindle down this Apex card that was all prelim-worthy fights. We had Jordan Leavitt, been off for a year and a half, goes out there, taps out Kurt Holloway with an anaconda choke in less than 2 minutes. All the finishes were in less than 2 minutes. Wonderful to see that. But he chokes him out. Gets on the mic, says, I was a bum a year and a half ago. I just been training. Dude looks good. He's athletic. He's big for the weight class. He could become a problem if he's really refined his skills to the level that it looks like. But Kurt Holloway, not the highest level. Yeah, exactly. He seemed to run out of ideas. But yeah, sorry. I lost my train of thought. Yeah, Leavitt though. If he's refined it to the level that it looked like last night, it's just, is Holloway still there? He's older. He's looked worse and worse in each fight. But yeah, Leavitt looked great. The Monkey King does the damn thing. And then we had Balaji Oki. He took on Michael Aswell. Now, Aswell was making his UFC debut short notice. Balaji Oki was supposed to be fighting Seung Ko. Visa issues forced him out of that fight. So Michael Aswell, Oki was supposed to fight somebody else, but visa issues caused it to not go through, I believe. So short notice, we had Michael Aswell step in. Round 1, Aswell's putting the pressure on him. Oki looks uncomfortable, doesn't like getting hit. And it's like, wow, is this going to be a huge dog cash as this 145er goes up to 155 on a week's notice to fight a banger striker in Balaji Oki? But rounds 2 and 3, Oki gets it together. He starts cracking Aswell more. He's landing the more significant strikes. He's putting the pressure on, backing Aswell up while Aswell is still throwing back. Oki's doing the damage. He's controlling the octagon, and he gets the nod with the judge's decision. And then in the curtain jerker, the fight that earned fight of the night, we had Elise Ardeleon. She took on Ryan Dos Santos. Fight was fun. Ladies were cracking the whole time. It was on the feet the whole time, and they were cracking each other. Ardeleon tripled the stats of De La Rosa, or of Dos Santos, not De La Rosa. Goodness. Tripled the stats of Dos Santos, and yeah, 160 significant strikes. Did the thing. Her first UFC victory. Dos Santos falls to 0-3 in the UFC, so we might be seeing her released soon. And yeah, that got fight of the night. Crazy to give that a bonus over the Dustin Jacoby and Bruno Lopez fight, for not giving Jacoby a performance bonus for that knockout. But yeah, as Cody said, the card sucked. Gave us a lot to talk about as far as the fight cancellation and everything going on with that. But card overall, not entertaining, not something that you want to sit down and watch back. Nothing about that card screamed, take my money. None of those. Nobody did anything for their stock tonight. I can't think of one fighter other than Michael Oswell who won the fight, or who lost the fight. He looked better than people were expecting. Dustin Jacoby's stock might have risen, and Ramiz Brahimaj, but not enough to get ranked fighters next. Maybe you give Dustin Jacoby a ranked fighter that just is looking for someone, but yeah, I'm not. This card just had a whole lot of nothing for me. Got some tummy issues. Keep muting my mic for you guys. But yes, we move on to the fun stuff, to the pay-per-views, the Noches, the 316s, the no longer 320s. We'll start with UFC Noche. It was supposed to take place at UFC 320 in Guadalajara. The venue has been changed. They're going to be moving it to San Antonio, Texas. Still UFC Noche, no longer UFC 320. It's going to be a fight night instead of a pay-per-view. So what's that mean? We're probably not going to get Yair versus Volkanovski 2, which nobody was asking for that fight in the first place. So thank God. Hopefully the UFC does the right thing and puts Diego Lopez taking on Yair Rodriguez in the main event of that fight night. There's beef between the two guys. They don't like each other. They're both entertaining guys, where Diego Lopez, as Cody likes to say, he's a jackrabbit. He's down your throat. He's in your face the whole time. Yair's like a Swiss Army knife. He's throwing kicks up from anywhere, super quick kicks. He's got hard strikes. He's got elbows, and he's got submissions. I don't think he's got a ground game that could roll with Diego Lopez. But, yeah, that's a hell of a fight. They need to make that. Weird to see them drop it from I get a venue change. They can't do anything if the venue's not ready. But it's weird to see them make it no longer a pay-per-view. And I do wonder if that has something to do with Turki Al-Sheikh's fight with Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez taking place on the same date that Dana White was supposed to be the promoter of. Seems like TKO and Dana White are no longer going to be promoting that. So I wonder if that's playing into that along with the venue change. It was just like, this is a perfect storm to say, hey, we concede. We're still going to do our Noche. Canelo, it's your weekend. You always dominate this weekend type of thing. I don't know. Maybe he's saying we still want to work with you, Turkey. We don't want to sever ties. We don't want to do anything that'll mess that up. I don't know, but it's weird to see. It's weird to see the UFC almost concede defeat like we're seeing right here. And then we have UFC 316. It's fight week. I can't wait. We got our main card breakdown this week. It's going to be amazing. Always is. Cody and I. Hopefully Noah stops by for the chat as well, or for the stream. Cards stacked, though. We got 2 title fights. We got former Bellator champion Patchy Mix, who never lost his belt, just vacated because he came over here and Bellator got shelved by the PFL when they were purchased. Patchy Mix making his UFC debut against Mario Batista. We got, my brain fart. Hell of a card, though. We got Kevin Holland, Vicente Luque on there. We got Kelvin Gastelum, Joe Pfeiffer. So let's start with this Merab Dvalishvili versus Sean O'Malley fight. They're saying Sean was super injured in the last fight, and it's a completely different fight. He found his rhythm at the end of the 5th round, which he did. He was starting to crack Merab in the 5th round. Kind of hurt him a little bit, especially to the body. Will he be able to find that same luck at the beginning of this fight that he did at the end of the last fight? I don't know, but it certainly makes it entertaining to watch, and it makes you also wonder, after Merab does this, who's next for him if he gets the win. We'll talk about that more Wednesday, but there's so many options there. And for Sean too, win or lose, there's a lot there. We're going to get into it all, but there's so much at stake in that fight. Even though Sean's kind of undeserving, he only had the one title defense against Chito Vera, hasn't fought since losing the belt to Merab. Merab's already fought. It's still an entertaining fight. It sells tickets. I'm pumped for it. I was a lot less pumped for this card when it was first announced. And as we get closer and closer, I'm more and more pumped for this card. It's going to be fun. It's got stakes. This card is amazing. It's got stakes. It's got action. It's got 2 championship fights and debuts. Just fun fights all over the board. I can't wait for this thing. So we move on to Juliana Pena and Kayla Harrison also fighting for the belt. Juliana Pena, the champion. Kayla Harrison, one of the most decorated, if not the most decorated combat sports athletes in history. Her, Holly Holm, and Ronda Rousey got to be like top 3 for most decorated. Kayla Harrison, 2-time Olympic gold champion, 2-time PFL champion, and now she's challenging for the UFC belt. She's a bulldozer. Woman's a tank, but the weight cut to 135 is tough for her, and she hasn't looked the same since coming to the UFC and having to cut all that weight. And she's also never had to make 135. She's been fighting non-title fights, able to make 136. Does that make a difference when she goes out there? And is she going to be able to make that weight? I mean, she is right on the edge of killing herself, getting to 136 every time, it seems. So, shouldn't have said that. YouTube's going to pop. But just absolutely draining her body when she does that. And then Juliana Pena, she's durable as hell. Is Kayla Harrison going to be able to go out there and get her out of there right away? Because if she can't, and that weight cut's tough for her, then those second, third, fourth, fifth rounds are going to be hell going against Juliana Pena, who's going to be in your face, throwing punches, trying to take you down even though you have the ground advantage. She's just in your face. She's grimy. She's a warrior. I'm not a huge Juliana Pena fan, but credit where credit's due. The girl's a dog, and if she can survive that first round against Kayla Harrison, it's going to be a rough night for Kayla. So the odds might be kind of crazy at minus 700 for Harrison, plus 450 for Pena right now, just because it's a one-round fight for Kayla Harrison, I think. I don't think that we're going to see her be able to go all 5 rounds against Juliana Pena. Yes, she went 3 rounds against Caitlin Vieira. Didn't look great in that fight. Going the 3 rounds, it was a tough weight cut. This is, again, 1 more pound, 2 more rounds, and Juliana Pena pushes a way higher pace than Caitlin Vieira does. So I'm kind of leaning Juliana Pena right now. Kayla Harrison, all the skill advantage, more refined, more athletic, whole 9 yards. But, it's a war of attrition that Juliana Pena is going to put you through. And then you have Kelvin Gastelum, Joe Pfeiffer in the feature fight. That's just going to be a banger. Kelvin goes out there. He's going to swing hard. He's going to take shots. He's got a chin. Joe Pfeiffer, everybody kind of hates this guy at this point just because he's been a bit of a dick. I'm indifferent on the guy. I think he's a fun fighter. Kelvin Gastelum's durable. Joe Pfeiffer is his gas tank going to be able, again, just like the Kayla Harrison thing. He's a big dude, a lot of muscles. Is his gas tank going to last into the 3rd round? Kevin Gastelum, while he's kind of chubby, he's always had a good gas tank. And I think that he's also a live dog at plus 300. Got some really wide odds on this card. Sean O'Malley plus 250. Juliana Pena plus 450, Kelvin Gastelum plus 300. ESPN has Patchy Mix listed as plus 240, but he's actually a minus 155 favorite right now. Kevin Holland's a minus 235 favorite over Vicente Luque. I mean, wide odds on this card, and I think that fight's going to be a close one. But Luque, he can go out there and look great, and Luque can go out there and look like absolute shit. So, we don't know what Luque we're going to see. Kevin Holland, if you're not a big grappler, then he's going to cause problems for you 99% of the time. That's the curtain jerker for the main event, or for the main card, though. The fight that I'm most excited for 316, without a doubt, Patchy Mix versus Mario Batista. Mario Batista, just about universally hated by UFC fans after what he did against Jose Aldo, and then gets on the mic and is like, hey, if he's not going to stop me from holding him against the cage, I'm going to keep holding him against the cage, is pretty much what the man said. So, yeah, Mario Batista, he's taking on the former Bellator champion, former PFL champion, I guess, in Patchy Mix. Dude's been one of the best bantamweight fighters on the planet for a long time. Past 5 years, really. He's just been shelved ever since PFL bought Bellator. The guy is an anaconda when he gets on your back. He takes the back with ease, and then he gets the rear naked choke in. It's his specialty, and he's got submissions from everywhere else. Unorthodox striking. He's knocked people out with knees up the middle. He's got a good jab. He's huge for 135, tall, big frame. He's never fought anybody in the UFC, but he's fought guys that have been in the UFC. He's fought the top level. People don't know who Patchy Mix is, and they're going to know after this week. I'll give my pick away now because I'm riding the Patchy Mix train all the way to hell, and I like him to be the next champion after Merab if Sean drops it this week. Or if Sean drops the ball this week, loses again. So this card, it's stacked. I cannot wait for it. And then the featured prelim, Bruno Silva versus Joshua Bang. Certified banger. You got Chaos Williams taking on Euros Medic. That's a fun fight. Sergey Spivak's on there. Not a great fight. Him and Wado Cortez Acosta. It's not going to be a great fight, but Sergey Spivak, top ranked heavyweight. Fun there. And then it's just we're going to see fun fights. Wang Kong beat Valentina Shevchenko in kickboxing. That's kind of her claim to fame. 7-1. A lot of knockouts. She's going in there on the early prelims. So she's taking on Ariana De Silva. It's a good card. It's well put together. It's going to be entertaining. It gives me vibes of just old UFC pay-per-views where when I turn it on, I'm like, I know most of these fighters and I like most of these fighters, or these are mostly entertaining fighters. It's just, it brings it back. It's like, thank God we got some names on these cards again. We got something fun going on. This is a fun card. It's just, there's fun shit happening. So, move on. Talked UFC 316. Now we'll talk to BJ Penn news. A little more somber note before we head out of here, I think. Yeah, this is the last thing we got for you. So, BJ Penn arrested again 3 times in 6 days, twice in 24 hours. He's been menacing his family. He's going through a mental health crisis right now where he believes that his family was killed and replaced by imposters. They're trying to get his family wealth and take control of the family. He's going through it. He's menacing his family, changing the locks, taking all their stuff out of their house. It's really sad to see. And if you've been in that situation or a similar situation where somebody's going through a mental health crisis like that, it is scary. All you want is for them to get better and them to get help. And you're scared because they're taking it out on you. They're going after you. And that's what's happening with BJ Penn's family right now. So they're forced to call the cops, have him arrested twice for trespassing pretty much and putting his mom's stuff out, trying to change the locks and just doing crazy stuff. And then he didn't report to court a couple days later, so they rearrested him. It's a sad situation to see. You know, he's one of, if not the GOAT of the early UFC days, and it's a shame to see this happen to a guy like that. CTE, probably a factor. It's hard to say it wouldn't be, but I know I'm not going to get into it. I know of a situation I'm somewhat close with where not the exact same thing, but similar situation. It's a similar situation, and you know, it's sad to see. You don't want to see it, and that situation I'm close with has nothing to do with brain damage or CTE. It's just mental health. It's a real thing. It affects some people a lot different than others, and you don't know what's going on. I gotta think it's CTE though, and you hope he can get the help he needs, but I don't see this story ending well. From a couple weeks ago, him posting a video talking about how his family was killed and replaced by these people, just seeming manic and crazy, and now he's getting arrested. His mom has a restraining order against him. It's a whole thing. So hate to see it. That's all we got for you, though. Thank you for tuning in to Blood and Beer. This is a short little live episode. Meant to record it so we could upload it as a video, people to watch back. Cody, thanks for joining the chat. Everybody, thank you for tuning in, for liking. Drop us a sub. We're on our way to 250. Not moving up very fast, but we're getting there slowly but surely. I appreciate you tuning in. This has been Matt with Blood and Beer.